Good morning, everyone. Yes, very good morning. So, shall we begin the session? The last class we have studied about what are the various, or we have finished with the chapter number 4. Yes, we have finished with chapter number 4. That is, what are the various concepts that is used in this, or we can say what are the various business system for the businesses, what are the various management tools that we have discussed. Now, let's move to the next topic in this chapter, that is chapter number 5, networking and the communication. How the communication will take place, that is the communication and the or networking and the communication. Now, let's see what are the various learning objectives over here. So, upon completion of this chapter, all right. Yes, I'm repeating again if you join this class right now. So first one is what are the various learning objectives that is available. First one is understand the history and the development of the networking technologies. What are the various technology concepts? What are the various technologies that is available in the networking? What are the few terms that is used in the networking that denotes how to use the network concepts, how to develop the network concept that is available, that is used in the networking, or what are the very few concepts that is used in networking that is used in the few terms. So understand the history and the development of the networking technology that is available. Then define the key terms associated with the networking technology. So first is history and the development of the networking technology. Next one is what are the various key terms that is used in the networking technologies. Then understand the importance of the broadband technology. That is, what is the main importance of the networking technology that is available. The next one is describe the organizational networking. What are the various organizational networking that is used with this? These are the 4 learning outcomes, that is the LOs of this chapter. Now let's start with the introduction. What is the introduction of this chapter? Why we are going to study this chapter? So in the early days of computing, computers were seen as a devices for making the calculations, storing data, and automating the business processes. However, as the devices evolved, that means as the devices increase, it has become apparent that many of the functions of the telecommunication could be integrated into the computer. That means functionality of the telecommunication method would be integrated into the computer. And during the 1980s, many organizations began combining their once separate telecommunication. That is, they are going to use that one separate telecommunication and the information system department into an information technology or the IT department. That means everything is molding into the IT technology or the IT department, and this ability for the computers to communicate with one another, and maybe more importantly to facilitate the communication between the individual and the group, that is also the one of the factor in the growth of computing over the past several decades. That is also increase in the path in over the past several decades. However, the computer networking really began in the 1960s with the birth of the internet. So whenever the internet comes, that is in the 1960, so that is used with the birth of the internet as we see below. However, while the internet and the web were evolving, corporate networking were also taking shape in the form of the LAN, that is the local area network, and the client server computing. In the 1990s, when the internet became of the age or come to of the age, internet technologies began to pervade all area of the organization. Now, with the internet, a global phenomenon is also used that also include and did not include the communication capabilities. That means that does not include how to communicate with this one, what are the various communication technologies. So this chapter will review the different technologies that is used or that is available within the technology that is put in place to enable the communication evaluation. That means what are the various communication evaluation that is available in this, or what are the various terms that is used in the networking. Then let's talk about what is the brief history of the internet. What is the internet? How it is used? So first one is for the internet. In the beginning, it is used as ARPANET, that is the Advanced Research Project Agency Network. So the full form of ARPANET is the Advanced Research Project Agency Network, that is developed with the ARPA. There is a US government that has created the ARPANET or ARPA, whose initial role to ensure that the US was not surprised again, and it was from the ARPA, that is not the DARPA, that is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency Network, that the internet first sprang. The story of the internet and the networking in general can be traced back to the late 1950s, and the US was in the depth of the Cold War with the USSR, and each nation closely watched the other to determine which one is emerged, which one will be used, and this one. And in 1957, the Soviets surprised the US with the launch of the Sputnik that are propelling into the space age, and in response to the Sputnik, the US government created the Advanced Research Projects Network, that is ARPA, whose initial role is to ensure that the US was not surprised again. It was from the ARPA that the internet first sprang. And ARPA was the center of the communicating or computing research in the 1916, but there was just one problem. Many of the computers do not or could not talk to each other. And in 1986, ARPA sent out a request for the proposal for a communication technology that will allow different computers located around the country to be integrated together into one network. That means it will be integrated into the one network that will be used or sum up into the one network, and 12 companies requested to the request or responded to the request, and the company is recorded over there. A named Bolt won that is the BBM. And that is a scene, or that is a scenario when the World Wide Web on the internet or the ARPANET comes into the array. Now let's talk about what is the internet and what is the www. So we are talking about the ARPANET. ARPANET, that is a advanced research project agency network that is used with the intention or the invention of the internet. Next is the internet and the www. So over the next decade, the ARPANET also grew and gained the popularity. During this time, the other network also came into existence. That is how they are going to use and what they are going to use within the network. That is with the use of the ARPANET. And different organizations were connected to different peak networks, which lead to the problem. Now, network do not talk with each other. That means computer will talk with each other with their network. But if I want at that time, if I want that the network will communicate with each other, that is not possible. So that is provided by the new technology that is known as the protocols. The protocol is a way of the communication over the networks, so that the communication will be done within the network from one network to the another network. And this problem was solved by the invention of transmission control protocol, internet protocol, TCP/IP, that was designed. Now, what is the full form TCP/IP? That is the transmission control protocol and the internet protocol. This contains multiple sets of the protocol, not the single protocol, but the multiple set of the protocol that were designed to allow the network running on a different networks or different protocols that to have an intermediary protocol that would allow to them to communicate. That means how the network will communicate, that is provided by the TCP/IP protocol. And as long as your network supported the TCP/IP, you could communicate with all of the network that is running the TCP/IP. That is a standard protocol that also allows the network to communicate with each other. And it is also the breakthrough with the internet. That is, yeah, it is a breakthrough within the internet. That means now not the computers only, but the network also communicate with each other. Yeah, networking communicate with each other with the set of the protocol that is known as the TCP/IP protocol. Now next is the sidebar, that is the internet. Now the networking communication is full of the some very technical concept based on some simple principles. So this is based on some principle or simple principle that is available within the networking, that is full of the technical concepts. And when we learn about the terms, whatever the terms that is available, you will find your conversation that is how to use over the network. So these are the few terms that is available over the network, that is the networking communication. So first one is a packet. So the fundamental unit of the data transmitted over the internet, that is known as packet. And when a device intend to send a message to another device, so whenever there is a device that is intend to send the PC with another device, for example, your PC send a request to YouTube to open a video. It breaks the message down into the smaller pieces, that is known as a packet. So whenever it is divided into the multiple part, that is known as a packet. Or for example, when your PC requests to the YouTube to open a video, it breaks the message into the multiple parts, that is known as a packet. So over the network, over the communication channels, there is no that the whole data will be sent fully. No, but it will be sent or it will be divided into the multiple pieces, that is known as the packets. And each packet has a sender's address and the destination address, sequence number, and a piece of the overall message to be sent. So whatever the packet that is given, that have a sender's address, that have a destination address, that have a sequence number, and a piece of the overall message that is to be sent over there. And packet contains two parts. One is the header, one is the data. Now the header contains the IP address of the receivers, and data means a normal data that is available. The next one is a hub, that is a simple networking device that connects other devices also to the network and sends the packet to all the devices that is connected to it. So whatever the networking device is, or whatever the data that is available, that is used to for the network, that is used to send the packet to all the devices that is connected to it. That is known as the hub. So one is a packet, one is a hub. Next one is a bridge, that is a networking device that connects two network together. That is known as bridge, and also only allows the packet through they are needed. So that means filtering the data into the network, filtering the data, whatever the data that is required, that is known as bridge. So one is a packet, one is a hub, one is a bridge. The next one is a switch. So it's a network. It's also a networking device that connects multiple devices together. So whenever we connect multiple devices in the same way together and filters the packets based on their destination. So whatever the packet that is available, so that that filters the packet into the one together, and also based on their destination within the connected devices. So one is a packet, that means how to send the data, that is divided into the multiple part, that is known as a packet. Then hub, that connects other devices also, that is used to or helpful for the sending the packets from one place to another place. Then bridge, that connects two network together. So one is a device that connects other devices to the network, one is connecting the two networks. Then switch, that connects the multiple devices together and also filters the packet based on their destination. Then router, who decides the route, whatever the route that is available. For example, if there are multiple routes or alternative routes are available, so which is a better route or which is the best route that is used, that is decided by the router. So a device that receives and analyzes the packets and then route them towards their destination. That is, route them means follow the route, that is whatever the route that is available, that is known as the router. In case the router will send the package, yes, in some of the cases, a router will send the packet to another router also. That is not that a router only sends from one sender to the receiver. No, it also sends the packet to the another router also. In other cases, it will send it directly to the destination. The next one is the IP address, and every device that communicates over the network, whether it is a personal computer, it is a tablet, it is a smartphone, or anything else, it is assigned a unique IP number or unique address, that is known as the IP address. For example, when we refer to the home, there is a unique address. In the same way, over the network, every computer have a unique number that is known as the IP address. Instead of giving the name, yeah, we are giving the IP address, that is the Internet Protocol address. And there are two parts of the IP address. One is IPv4, one is IPv6, and the IPv4 ranges between from 0 to the 255. For example, when we talk about the domain sailor.org, that is the IP address of this one, 107.23.196.166. So this is one of the example, and the IPv standard has a limit. Now, IPv6 that have 8 groups of the 4 hexadecimal digits. IPv4 have divided into the 4 parts, then 8 bytes, 8 bytes, 8 bytes, 8 bytes. Sorry, 8 bits, not the bytes. That is means 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 32 bits. IPv4 is a 32 bits, and IPv6 is for 64 bits. The next one is a domain name. If you had to try to remember the IP address of every web browser or every web server you wanted to access, the internet will nearly to ease them. That means they have a human-friendly nature. This name is given to the Wikipedia or descriptive followed by the top-level domain, that is a TLD. For example, when we say about the Wikipedia, domain name is wikipedia.org. that defines the organization, and the .org is the top level domain. In this case, the .org TLD is designed for the non-profit organizations. That also includes the .com, .net, and .gov for the government organization. Then next one is a DNS, that is a domain name system. Now, what is a domain name? That acts as a directory on the internet. Domain name system, as it's a directory, that means it is a folder over the internet, and whenever there is a request to access a device with the domain name that is given, we need a DNS server. So first of all, it is a domain name system in which the directory is maintained. For example, for the organization, there is a different directories. For the government offices, it's a .gov. That means this is the directory. This is the folder in which all the government organizations IP address will be feed it out. So it returns the IP address of the device requested. That also allows for the proper routing. The next one is the packet switching. So whenever there is a packet is sent from one device to over another, or whenever we want to send the packet from one device over the internet, it does not follow a straight path to the destination. Instead, it is passed from one router to another across the internet. That is known as the packet switching. That means dividing the same data into the multiple packets and then send the packets one by one. It is not compulsory that the same route will be followed for all the packets. No, different packets can choose different routes, but the main concern is that each and every packet will be sent from the sender to the receiver, and also we can get the acknowledgement from the receiver also. So whenever there's a packet that is sent from one device over the another over the internet, it does not follow the straight path to the destination. Instead, it is passed from, or it is going from one router to another across the internet until it is reaches to the destination. And sometimes two packets from the same message will take the different routes. Sometimes the packets will arrive at the destination out of the order, and when this happens, the receiving device restores them to their proper order. Now, packet switching is done. Next one is a protocol. So in the computer networking, a protocol is a set of the rules. That means what are the various rules, regulation that is followed over the internet to exchange the information back and forth across the network. Now, next one is a Web 2.0. Now, Benjamin, any doubts till now? No. I agree with you that you are good, but any doubts in the content that we have studied in the today's class? No. Next one is the Web 2.0. So in the okay. So I'm going to start with a new one, that is a Web 2.0. So in the first few years of the www, creating and putting up a website required a specific set of the knowledge. How to set up, how to create, that requires a specific set of the knowledge as well as the money. Now you had to know how to set up a server on the www, how to get a domain name, how to write the web pages on the HTML, and how to use them with the HTML, and how to troubleshoot some technical issues if any technical issue arises. If there is any technical issue that arises, so how to route them, how to suit them, or how to get the, or how to write the web pages in the HTML, how to troubleshoot some technical issues as they come up. Sometimes, or someone who did these jobs for a website, that is known as a webmaster. But as the progress is going on, it becomes more and more apparent that those who did not have the skills to be webmasters yet wanted to create the online content have their own piece of the web. That means they're going to use their own web, their own piece of the web, and this needs was met with the new technologies that provided a website framework for those who wanted to put the content online. Now, bloggers and the Wikipedia are some examples of these Web 2.0 applications, which allowed anyone with someone to say a place to go and say it without the need for the understanding the HTML. So there's no need for understanding the HTML or the web server technologies, but only used for the bloggers and the Wikipedia, the Web 2.0 applications. And starting in the early 2000s, Web 2.0 application began a second bubble of optimism and the investment. It assumes that everyone wanted their own blogs or the photo sharing sites, and there are some of the companies that came out of the age during this time, that is the MySpace 2003, PhotoBucket, Flickr, Facebook. So these are the various terms that is used with the that is announced with the Web 2.0. And when the personal computer was created, it was a great little toy for technology hobbyists and the armchair programmers. And as soon as the spreadsheet was invented, when the Excel was invented, so there's a business took notice, and the rest is in the history. The spreadsheet was one of the killer app for the personal computer that approached the PC just so that they have run the spreadsheet. And the internet was originally designed as a way for the scientists and the researchers to share the information and compute power among themselves. However, as soon as the email was invented, it began driving demand for the internet. That means there's a demand for the internet over the internet. Though that there is a demand, that is how to get the or how to access the internet. Now, next is internet and the www are not the same things, because some people have a confusion in mind that the internet and the www are the same thing. No, because we are generally also use that, yeah, that is the www, that is the internet, but really they are not the same at all. The internet is a collection of or internet is we can say the collection of the networks. So when we combine multiple networks together, that is known as the internet. But when you talk about the www, that is only one part of the internet. That is all whole the internet. No, that is only one part of the internet that is used for the web servers that have HTML pages, that have web browsers. That is really very simple to get any information from the internet. www is a part of the internet, but not the internet. The next one is the broadband, or the growth of the broadband. So in the early days of the internet, most access was done via the modem over an analog telephone line. That means we are using modem. Now, tell me, Mitty Benjamin, my question is to you, what is the full form of modem? We are saying that modem or the modem. Now, what is the full form of modem? Yes, anyone can answer what is the full form of modem. Hello. Yeah, my question is, what is the full form of modem? MODEM. That is, now I'm giving the hint. It is divided into the two parts. MO is a different part, DEM is a different part. So MO stands for and DEM stands for. My question is, what is the full form of modem? What is the full form of this word? That is MODEM. Yes, very good. That is the modulator and the demodulator. Now, what is the usage of the modulator and the demodulator? Can anyone tell me? Now, what is the usage of the modulator and the demodulator? Yeah, that is correct. That to change the data format from one state to another over the network, that is known as the modulator and the demodulator. Okay, all right. So this is given over here. Normally, this is modulator and the demodulator. And whenever we are using the computer lines and I want to use the internet from the computer lines, like I dial-up connection that we have used right now also, in nowadays also, but that is not in the day-to-day scenario. The main reason is that everything is available with the wireless, that is the dongle. Are you able to hear me, Miti Benjamin? Hello, hello. Yeah, my voice is clear to you. It's breaking. Now, is that okay? Hello. Now, this is okay? Okay. So when we talk about the modulator and the demodulator, that means this terms is used in terms of the phone lines and computer to connect over the network. For example, when you talk about the leased line that we are going to use in nowadays also, instead of using the dongle wireless, that is a wired connection. So whenever there is a telephone line that converts, or that is the data will be going from the telephone lines from one place to another place, the data will be gone from one place to another place via the modem. For example, that is the modem. So yes, so if I want to use the internet in the computer system, let's take an example. So when I want to use the internet in the computer system, I want a computer or I want a signal in the digitized form. That signal will be provided in the digitized form or converted into the digitized form by the concept of the modulator. So one is a telephone line, that is the incoming telephone line. Yes, that telephone line contains the data in a analog format. Now, first of all, understand what is the digital signal, what is the analog signals. Whatever the data that is available within the computer, that is the digital signals or digital data. Whatever the data, whatever the channels, whatever the criteria that is available within the phone line, that is analog signal. So I want a way, or anyone can want a way, that is how to convert from the phone line data to the computerized data. That way is known as the modulator. So that modulator converts the analog signal into the digital signal, that means the phone line signal into the computerized signal. Okay. In the same way, demodulator converts the same opposite. That is from the computer signals to the telephone signal. Because why? Because whenever we are not using the internet, or whenever there is a telephone conversation with someone, so I want a connection with the telephone also. That means that is converted by the demodulator. So modulator from the analog to the digital, demodulator digital to the analog. Clear, Miti Benjamin? And yes, and the speed was measured in the terms of the BPS, that is the bits per inch, with the speed growing from 1200 to the 56,000 BPS. This is for the dial-up connection. That is very, we can say the old one. But nowadays, whenever there is a wireless connections, this is a wired. Whenever there is a wireless connection like MTS, photon, anything that is available, that provides some more speed. And as the web becomes more and more interactive, dial-up also hinders the usage as the user wants to transfer more and more data. And as a point of reference, downloading a typically 3.5 MB song would take 24 minutes and 2 minutes. And there's a broadband connection that is defined as the one that have a speed of at least 265 or 256,000 bps through most connection today. That is far much better in terms of in millions of the bits per second. So whenever I want to use the internet, that is available, that is available, what I said, that is used in the gigabytes. Yeah, dial-up connections, or we can say the dial-up methods, is one of the previous or the old method that we have used. And for the most home users, a broadband connection is usually accomplished via the cable telephone lines or the phone lines, that is known as a DSL. So one is a dial-up. The next one category is a DSL, that is a digital subscriber line that have a similar prices and the speed that is used with the individual. That one is better than the other for the specific area. And the speed for the cable that is used and the DSL can also vary with the different times with the different areas of the day or the week. And depending upon the data, how the traffic will be used. So we are using either the DSL, either we are using the broadband connections, or we can say the dial-up connections. This is a figure that shows the differentiate between the broadband and the dial-up from 2000 to the 2013. Now this is growing demand for the broadband also. So how the growth of the broadband will be available? So that is the broadband access is very important because it impacts how our internet will be used. And whenever there is a community that has access to the broadband, that also allows them to interact more online and increases the usage of the digital networks. That is how to use the digital network over the internet and how the broadband connection is considered as a human right by the United Nations. Now this is the figure that shows what is the differentiate or difference between the broadband and the dial-up connections. Yeah, yes, maybe between these are the parts of the internet connection. One is a DSL, one is a dial-ups. Yeah, DSL full form is a digital subscriber line. And these are the parts of the broadband connection only. Yes, yes. Any other questions? Okay, so shall we continue? Yeah, this is very important because ARPANET full form is Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Yeah, prior to the internet, there is ARPANET. And that is very relevant in the broadband connection also because it impacts how the internet will be used. No, understand. There are two terms. One is ARPANET, one is the internet. ARPANET is the first term that is used before the internet. So first of all, there is ARPANET. So prior to the internet, that is in the 1960s, there's ARPANET. Then comes to the picture with the internet only. Yeah, protocols are the same way that we are using over the network, but these are the terms that is used before the internet. Yeah, this is the UNESCO, that is the UN Educational, Scientific and the Cultural Organizations that is used with the ITU also. These are all category of the wired connection, we can say. Yes, we have studied about this one. This is the way how it is used. This is the first part, that is ARPANET over here. Then there's a protocol. That protocol name is a TCP/IP protocol. That is a transmission control protocol and the internet protocol that was designed to allow the network running on different networks, different protocols. Uh, yes, BT Benjamin, my voice is clear to you, or it's breaking right now also. So yes, wired connections we have done. And last part that is left is the broadband access. Why there is a why the broadband access is very important? What is the main advantage? Because it impacts how the internet will be used. And when the community has access to the broadband, it also allows them to use or interact more and more sessions, interact more and more criteria or more online, and the increases the usage of the digital tools overall. And access to the broadband is now considered as a human right by the United Nations. So whenever we are going to access the broadband connection, that is also available with the connection that is also used online, and also increases the usage of the digital tools overall. And also a human right by the United Nations. And these are fundamentally transforming the way we live. Broadband connections are commissioned for the digital development that is used by the UN Educational, Scientific and the Cultural Organization, that is a UNESCO, that is come in a category of the ITU, that is set in issuing the broadband challenge at a leadership summit in the Geneva. And it is vital that no one could be or no one be excluded from the new global knowledge societies that we are building. And we believe that the communication is not just a human need, it is a right. That whatever the communication that we are going to develop, that is not the communication part, that is only the part that we need to develop, that is a right. Now, next part is the wireless connection, so the wireless networking. So we have done with the wired. Next part is the wireless. Yes, Minty Benjamin, you check your connection because everything is correct over here. My voice is, I think, not clear to you. So check your connection. That is, I think there's a technical problem from your end. That's why I'm asking. And yeah, that's why I'm asking any doubts in the wired connection, because next is the wireless connection. That is how the wireless connection will be used. Yeah, Wi-Fi is one of the best example of the wireless. That is the wireless fidelity. Okay. So next is the wireless connection that I'm going to start within the next class, because it's a topic, and this is not going to start right now. So we are going to start with the wireless networking in the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so any doubts regarding anything? One more thing, I have sent you the assignment. Have you received the assignment? Because assignments are very important or relevant in this one. I sent the assignment. Just a minute. That is object-oriented programming assignment. That is the OOPS assignment. Okay, all right. So any other doubts?